Oh, I have to hit
introduce
buttons.
you to my book. Though it might at first appear like many books you've come across, it is far from ordinary. You may, therefore, have some misunderstandings about its nature. The story that awaits you has not been fully told. In fact, its conclusion is not yet known, even to myself. It is in that way that my book is special. It is in that way that you are special.
I think the majority of this game is storyline like this, where it tells me the story and
Without you, there is no story.
I heard it's really good. I'm probably gonna stream like an hour and a half today and then finish it.
Chapter 1. Normal isn't what it used to be. This is a story about change. Nestled in a shallow valley is the town of Beacon Pines. Far from the town square, across the river, past the neglected welcome sign, a young boy walks alone at dawn. His name is Luca Van Horn, and like you, dear reader, he's here for a reason.
Already like this. This is oh, I should read it out loud. Today's the first day of summer. Start middle school next year, I guess. 6 years old when you died. It's been 6 years now. From here on out, you'll have been gone longer than you were. Feels like that should mean. Mom always said that this tree was your favorite spot in the world. It's a very pretty tree.
Rollo was Luca's closest friend. He possessed many fine qualities, but subtlety was not one of them.
Well, after I banged on your door till your gran answered, after I checked the pond, climbed up to the treehouse, then I knew I'd find you here.
Rollo finally noticed the tears welling in his friend's eyes and the flowers on the grave.
Mom always did this on your dad's birthday. Yeah. Didn't know if you were going to keep doing it now that your mom's gone too. Mom too. Oh, she's not gone. Just missing. Sorry, I meant to say since she went missing. Back row. Or she. That's sad. Hey, Dad. See you next time. Sure. The way. His artwork is gorgeous.
Wonderful! I had a good feeling about you from the moment you opened my book. That charm is a very special thing. Very special indeed. Keep hold of it for now. Its purpose will reveal itself soon enough.
Charm. But yeah, I almost forgot. The whole reason I was wondering if you'd ever get to that. Found the perfect way to start our.
Rollo looked to the side suspiciously.
Oh, not here. They might be watching. They. Not so loud. To do this mission. Alright, I just have to tell Gran and then. What are you gonna tell her? I don't know. All the same to you. I'll meet you. Welcome. Oh, he doesn't go with you. I get that. Me either, Rolo. In like half a year. Put yourself, I won't be long. A grand before heading out. Gran is in.
Dear reader, forgive me for this interlude. Remember that charm you found in the dandelion patch? There are more of those special charms to discover throughout Beacon Pines. They've been known to reveal themselves to those who are willing. Some of them can be found in this very house.
Ew. That charm?
Since Gran had moved in, the house was more peaceful, more orderly, and more covered in flowery fabric. Gran had already lit the fire. She kept a warm house, as if by grandmotherly obligation.
Narrator has a very nice. Ooh, a ponder charm.
One of his father's old stethoscopes. Luca had spent countless hours listening to anything and everything with it. Not for years, though. Just some dusty knickknacks. Oh my, this is quite exciting. I am now certain that you are the one I've been waiting for all these years. You'll recall I was a bit coy regarding the use of charms earlier. Excuse me, I tend to have a flair for the dramatic. You are about to encounter your first turning point. There are certain times in this tale when everything hinges on a single word. Step forth, dear reader.
Actually,
on the other hand, I suppose there's no reason Gran will be waiting when you return.
I didn't really mean to go out here.
An array of prepared meals crowded the refrigerator, each labeled with the day of the week.
I feel like I should look everywhere before I go to Gran.
A pair of dull scissors, a broken can opener, a mostly empty bottle of glue, and some loose string.
See? Junk. Wasting water here.
The only piece of furniture Gran had brought when she moved in was an old hutch. Luca paused at his parents' bedroom door. He just wasn't ready to go in yet. Gran had commandeered the upstairs closet when she moved in. Some things need shelter from a young boy's mischief, she said.
All right, another charm. Share a room with.
Luca tossed on his favorite old sweater. Even though it was the first day of summer, a chill still hung in the air.
So we came back in because
Gran's moving in meant that most of Luca's things had been crammed in the corner. Luca was somewhat annoyed by the situation. Gran's bed was undisturbed. Luca didn't mind that she had a habit of falling asleep in front of the fireplace. It meant that he could read late into the night.
me too. Great. Now let's.
A sturdy old wheelbarrow. Young Luca would spend hours hiding in the bushes, waiting for a chance to jump out and startle his mother. She always enjoyed humoring him by feigning terror. A beginner's guide to gardening laid open on the bench.
I have a feeling that I'm gonna get these words wrong. Hey, Grand, I'm gonna go hang with Rollo for the day. See you later. Hold up now. Where are you and Rollo headed exactly? Oh, nowhere
The
special.
less Gran knew, the better for everyone involved.
Chill.
We're just gonna go chill for the day. The best lies are built on truth.
Boys are always in a hurry to do nothing. Stick to what we're good at. I'll make sure you're done chilling in time for supper.
Easy. Impressive. You've managed to navigate your first turning point without too much of a mess. That is the power of charms. A single word can change everything. I think it's time to introduce you to the Chronicle. The Chronicle is a record of the decisions you've made. You can see the turning point which has been revealed. At any time, you can use the Chronicle to go back and invoke different charms, creating new branches.
Ew.
Luckily for us, this is the one and only turning point where the charms won't dramatically alter fate.
That means
It's the perfect opportunity to experiment with rewriting things. We were just gonna go ponder for the day.
Oh, really? What are you boys going to ponder on such a lovely day exactly?
This was Luca's chance to sell his alibi.
You know, big stuff, small stuff, medium, mostly medium pondering.
Nailed it.
That's good. Off with you now. Okay, so like this one's also fine. Pondering. Oh, and Luca. You and Rollo stay out of trouble. I know I get into trouble with Rollo. Good goal. Good goal. Cute little house. Come on. Dang it, Rollo. Woods. You know the drill. Don't let anyone discover our secret path. The very secret.
Chapter 2. Welcome to Beacon Pines. For many years, this valley had been a small mining outpost. It wasn't until Sharper Valentine built his fertilizer company that Beacon Pines was established. Over the next 30 years, the town had grown and prospered until the foul harvest and his sudden death. In the 6 years since, everyone was simply trying to get by.
Authorized personnel only. Looking. Jetson. The line. No bites this. Look, cutie. To think of it, I can't remember the last time I reeled one in. But hey, it was never about the catch. This is where I come to think. Yeah, that's what my dad used to do. That reminds me. If you ever want his chair back, take him to standing. Keeps me from falling asleep at the wheel. Don't mind, I think it's empty chair makes for a great listen. So, set the dad's chair.
Whenever Luca saw his dad's chair by the pond, it reminded him of the days they'd pack up a couple of sandwiches and fish until sundown.
Memory unlocked.
Luca opened the tackle box and picked the perfect bait.
Pickle or junk is my bait?
Luca tied a shoestring to the... What fish could resist a nice shoestring?
This determining my fate? I have a shoestring? A good cast now. Got it. Oh.
Luca tied a shoestring to the hook. What fish could resist a nice shoestring?
But that was too hard. The other one was too slow.
Luca tied a shoestring. What fish could resist a nice...
Fairly am bad at fishing. Every game I play. I'm guessing I can fish for all kinds of things. Popped up there. Do that right now. I can.
The boys had a good thing going. As long as they kept old Jeff happy, they had an endless source of precious materials to add to the treehouse. After Luca's father had passed, Rollo became obsessed with them building their own Hank atomic star scraper. It was some time before Luca realized it was Rollo's way of keeping him occupied.
Very good at the chilling aspect.
On certain nights, when the clouds were just right, the boys could tune into strange patterns of static. Rollo thinks it's aliens. He always thinks it's aliens. Luca's winter coat decommissioned for the summer.
It's a cute coat.
With the cold holding out longer than usual, he reconsidered its usefulness.
I already forgot that I should be reading out. Glowing? I mean, we did say we needed to get in trouble with Rollo. A good friend. You think I should do more fishing?
Luca tied a shoestring to the hook.
I think
What fish could resist a nice shoestring?
we'll probably at some point think better to use bait, right? Oh, am I just gonna get a boot every time? Maybe it's just because that's what I have for bait. It's okay. talk to people?
Mayor Augustus Valentine was not busy. Flustered, Gus instinctively loosened his tie.
Oh, made him like run away from him. Mr. Kerr. I don't like his smile.
William Kerr was the CEO of Perennial Harvest Company. He had become a fixture around town over the past few years. After the failing of Valentine fertilizer, the town was hungry to welcome a new source of employment.
Oh, I get to be cool by a lean bridge. Zooms in. Nice. Burp this. No. Oh. These are bullies. Okay.
He pulled a pen from the pocket of his sweater vest and began to frantically jot something down on a clipboard.
Wait. Oh man.
Pete stopped scribbling and glanced up from the clipboard.
Whoa. It was a mistake to talk. Catching his breath. Where am I going? A warehouse. Where is there a warehouse?
Miss Hatch could often be found near the fountain, too absorbed in a book to be distracted.
Wish that was me. Oh, should I read this sign? I figured I was going the other way. Oh.
Oh, right. Rendezvous with Roxy. This is an important turning point. The first time where your charms will change the course of fate. And currently, we only have one suitable charm at our disposal. Have no fear, we can always return later using the Chronicle once we find more charms. Well, now I'm just rambling. Where were we?
Oh, is it Rolo's sister? Staying around and be useless, that's such a brother thing to say. Oh, unchored chores. Part of life than puke carrots. Oh.
Rolo froze as Roxy took a step toward him, cracking her knuckles. Luca knew he had one chance to save his friend from being dragged home.
What are my options? Drunk? Chill? That's all I have?
In the past, he found the best way to deal with an enraged Roxy was to be a little chill.
Need more charms. Nope.
Holden Wilder ran the local paper of record, the Beacon Beacon.
All right, well, we got change. So maybe go back and I didn't talk to the person on the ladder. Didn't want to wake up the person asleep. Ladder.
Mr. Sinclair continued snoring and lifted one eyelid just enough to see who it was, a tactic he often used to avoid undesirable conversation.
We wake him up just to ask him how napping was. Okay, so I didn't really miss any charm except that one. I go this way. Select charm. Dawn's also asleep.
Dawn had dreams of becoming a big-time reporter.
She's a cute little bat.
At night, she searched for the story that could be her big break. By day, she hawked papers at the newsstand.
Alright, let's go. Diner? Is that me? Any more?
A bit much, if you ask me.
Indulgent? What do we have now? Indulgent, change, chill, ponder, drunk, hide. Tickle. We could have. Why can't we have tickled Roxy? They scared. Library?
A promise Gran regretted the second it was made.
Real fine one. Peter than a damn monarch. Okay. This is Gran you're talking about.
The phone booth was brand new, part of Perennial Harvest's Beacon Pines Reborn initiative. It didn't see much use.
Is that where I'm going? Am I going this way?
Luca peeked up at the beehive. It appeared to be deserted.
Oh.
After the foul harvest destroyed their wealth and reputation, the Valentines shuttered off their estate from the rest of town.
Oh, I can jump.
The Valentine mansion loomed over every other building in town, both figuratively and literally.
Big spoon. Definitely made that worse. I guess going into the woods.
The path led into a small hollow at the edge of Weepwood.
I had to take my allergy medicine yesterday. It's getting time to take them again tonight. Running.
The fence thrummed with a gentle electric buzz. Luca often asked himself what Rollo would do, so that he could rule out that option.
Good, I don't.
As sparks flew from the fence, the light atop that section shut off. 2 bulbs remained.
Oh, actually.
1 more to go.
Oh, I can throw a can. I keep spraying them up.
The fence's buzzing gave way to silence. Every kid in town knew the old Valentine fertilizer building. Long abandoned, the warehouse once served as the industrial heart of Beacon Pines. Now, it stood only as a reminder of things left behind. The dormant building showed strange signs of life. There was only one way to find out.
At Rello's
The hose
Stinky?
emitted a subtle sound. It was actively draining some kind of liquid. Luca thought he heard faint sounds coming from the other side of the door. He pressed his ear against the cold metal to hear better. The sound of footsteps grew louder.
Oh. Shit.
The heavy steel door knocked Luca to the ground. Disoriented, he looked up to see an imposing figure silhouetted in a green glow. It lunged toward him. He tried to scramble away, but felt a gloved hand latch onto his ankle.
This is intense.
Luca watched his fingernails leave trails in the dirt as the hand slowly dragged him back through the door, into the lab, into the green light.
Change is my only option?
This is a story about change. It was far from the sort of change Luca imagined for himself. But change is, after all, a dangerous animal. The end? I probably should have warned you about this. There are many paths that our story can take. Most will end in tragedy. But don't let that discourage you. We will find the ending that this story deserves. I just know it. From here on out, a charm will have a check mark when it's been used to its full potential at a given turning point. Now, let's try something different.
I literally only had... I only had change. Oh, wait. It gave me a... I'm supposed to use shit? Checkmark said that it would be used to the full potential. Oh, it was to be a little shit.
In the past, he found the best way to deal with an enraged Roxy was
Like-
to be a little shit.
Okay. Are we gonna get Rollo to stay with us? We kicked her. Ah! Poor guy. Okay, so now we're back to this. Let's make sure. Okay.
Solomon Valentine, current ward of and future successor to the Valentine fortune, huffed as he brushed off his pants.
Okay, little Mr. Independent. Oh, is that?
Solomon trifled a gesture toward the approaching heiress Valentine.
I like her nice braid that she has. Not gonna talk to him again because oh. Gonna talk to me about Gran. Oh. Don't have to hear about Gran again. Hey J Mac, how are you? Right, so are we not gonna get taken by the man inside this time? Thank you, Rello. Touching the electric fence is bad. Alright, so I'm just gonna throw things again. That worked. Oh, I already have out. I already did this alone.
As the windows of the old warehouse came into view, Rollo began to bounce excitedly.
Rumble. Playing in the puddle. Okay, so when we come together, somebody's not gonna come grab us. Like when I was by myself, I got like kidnapped and probably dead. Be my honor to throw you in the. Squishy bag of squish. Squishy bag. Hello. Thanks for the jump scare. How are you? Your daughter was adorable helping you shovel the other day. Hi, Addie. Addie's getting so big. Hey. You ever gaming with you already? Alright, we're gonna go in there with walkie-talkies now. Trying to have her game with you. Uh-oh. My hands are covered in squish. Squishy squish. Oh, because now we're gonna hide in the dumpster together. The scary man. Oh. I wasn't even open before. Why would he just come open it? Oh, is he gonna throw more squishing? Wish that looks like a body.
Under the weight of the bag.
Digging deeper for clues?
Felt around at the large sack which burdened them. He snapped off a tag from just within a small zipper opening in the bag. Bo held the badge up to a faint shaft of light within the dumpster.
Dr. Prescott, deep engineering. Not panicking. One second. Take a nap. Who's holding his hand? He threw the hand out of the dumpster. All ass.
Lucas sat in the dark, tracking the sound of Rollo's footsteps as he ran. 1, 2, 3. He pressed his ear to the dumpster wall, straining to hear Rollo's footsteps as they faded away. 15, 16, 17.
Why didn't they just go together?
He tried not to think about the contents of the dumpster as he counted. 35, 36, 37. The thick stench made it hard to breathe. Screw it, that's long enough. Luca carefully lifted the lid and peered out. Nothing. No sign of Rollo. No sign of the man in the yellow suit. Time to haul ass. Luca clambered from the dumpster, stumbling to his knees. He was up like a shot and running, sprinting toward home as fast as he could. Beacon Pines flew by, blurred by the tears that welled up in his eyes. He wouldn't remember getting home at all that night. Throwing his front door open, storming up the stairs to his room and surrendering to sleep almost as abruptly as he hit his pillow. Chapter 3.
Oh, I thought I was gonna have to.
Finding a friend.
Turning point.
The next morning, it was quieter than usual at the breakfast table. Only the sound of silverware and chewing interrupted the awkward silence.
Breakfast with Gran. Oh. Uh-oh.
Gran's brow furrowed. She let out a long sigh. Her voice was quiet and even.
They find the hand that they threw out of the dumpster? Understood, Gran. I think he's... got born in a barn. Oh. Do not leave it open 2 days in a row. Trying to get... I really like how he slides off. Can I leave?
Luca was desperate to check in with Rollo. Until Gran returned, he was trapped.
Oh wait, do we have walkie-talkies?
An eerie electronic sound echoed from Luca's bedroom.
Is it aliens? I mean... that scared me as much as the jump scare did. Stop it. Accidentally kicking. Bro didn't come home.
A pit formed in Luca's stomach. Luca's mouth felt dry. Luca could feel his heart beating in his throat.
Where'd Rollo go? So now we can leave. Wait, what's this way? Oh, the tree. Did I go this way?
The road leading to Beacon Pines was long and a sort of natural barrier for the impatient.
Go this way. Bert. Bert's got a lollipop. Got a bunch of stuff in front. Not talking to him again. Whoa. Ah, so they're gonna check the woods. What if they get kidnapped? Wait, I don't know who these people are yet. Go, gotta go. Oh, wait. This is the name.
Jeff's hardware closed down about a year ago. The effects of the foul harvest stretched wide. When there are no crops in the field, tractors don't need fixing.
Let me in the library. A penguin.
Kato volunteered at the library during the summers. He wasn't very social, so he'd dedicate each summer to becoming an expert in a single subject,
Or a bird.
making him a reliable source of very particular knowledge. If you were to ask Kato something he didn't know, he'd escape into the dusty old bookshelves and return with just the right thing. Kato was lost in his reading. Luca crooked his neck to see the title, Introduction to Melitology.
Penguin.
He gestured to the shelves.
Beautiful world of bees. Ew. Fighting charm. You have to fight someone to get Rolo back.
There were rarely any actual new additions, simply a variety of existing content rotated into the front display each week.
Not filling anyone on new books.
The bottom corner shelf was a dusty array of thick science books. Only one binding was clean enough to read: Cellular Biology and the Chemistry of Mitosis.
Not boring.
Mycological Phosphorescence.
Obviously, he's not interested in science books.
The entire top level of the library was devoted to comics,
Nice.
most of which were Hank Atomic and the myriad of lesser revered spin-offs.
No Rolo, though, so what are we gonna...
Oh, the cobs I've eaten. A salad-centric travel guide for the mildly adventurous. Sally Seashore's simple succulent sundries. Luca brushed off a smudge of dust. Or maybe it was flour. 30 recipes so easy you'll doubt it's even edible.
Ooh, see, this is why we're browsing the show.
A peek behind the curtain. The methods and ruminations of Patrick C. Montesquieu. One of the greatest acting minds of our time. By Patrick C. Montesquieu.
Yay, we got an achievement for nerd. Definitely me. Poking around the library. Is this the new... something with a B?
Beck's family moved often, giving her little time to establish any real connections. She would tell you she prefers it that way. Luca shifted his feet uncomfortably. Beck pulled a coin from her pocket.
Coin? Rolo was an unlucky penny. We're gonna take her to the woods? Gonna talk to him again? Worried about the Beatles, not about Rolo. A new sign. Oh? Think it over there. Books. Oh. Not related. Oh, big kitty stretch? A sleepy kitty stretch?
Luca felt a chill as he approached Beck. Her eyes were locked on the strange green liquid. The nearby grass was coated in a fine layer of frost.
Science. Okay, with a stick. I like Beck.
Luca watched as Beck dipped a broken tree branch into the goo. Beck's eyes widened as flowers grew from the dead wood.
Wait,
First small buds, which quickly bloomed into vibrant petals.
weird.
As they had grown, the flowers began to shrivel and turn green. Beck dropped the stick with a grunt of disgust.
Drunk is weird as hell. Oh, the bullies. Yeah, why do you have to be so you, Iggy? I mean, one of them died. We're gonna fight.
Iggy took a step towards Luca, his sneer lit by the glowing puddle. Beck could see tears welling in Luca's eyes, his fists clenched. Some things about Beacon Pines were very different from the city, but a bully from a hayseed town is really no different from a city bully. Beck took a deep breath and thought.
I'm to bust out the Strange or the Tickles? I think tickling a bully is gonna work. It's strange. I don't know.
Time to bust out the strange. Beck stared in silence, the only sign of life being the twitch of an eye.
That's the strange.
Iggy taunting back, something in Luca snapped. Iggy's smirk shifted to a look of shock as Luca launched himself into his stomach.
We get to fight?
Iggy's clothes were
Ooh,
drenched
into the puddle?
in the glowing ooze. Iggy's voice began to slur as he struggled to get up.
Did we just kill him? I'm gonna have to go back to fix this. I feel like the other option was also bad. Nowhere else for me to go.
The person at the warehouse, this strange ooze and what it did to Iggy. Was Rollo caught up in all of this?
The strange was question mark. So like, should I have? Well, I haven't done that yet. Was tickle the choice here? Sorry, to go back. So used to like using my mouse. And there's no mouse. Can we find him? Uh-oh.
Beck glanced toward Luca.
I was mad because we left the house.
Rollo was safe. A wave of relief washed over Luca, which was quickly replaced by a sense of dread. Gran is going to kill me. If he hurried, he might just make it home before sundown. Chapter 4. Our
Did I go
harvest.
back?
Luca took a deep breath and gingerly opened the door, steeling himself for Gran's wrath.
We lose Gran. Not outside today. Should I go back and make sure that he doesn't?
The house was empty. Luca was sitting by the pond, listening to small waves lap against a rock. His father sat in a folding chair in front of him. Without turning, he spoke. "Why don't you grab me some nice bait?" "Sure thing, Dad." Luca hopped over to the tackle box and popped open the lid.
Am I gonna get better bait?
Inside was a rolling, buzzing mass. "We're fishing with bees?" Luca's father gave a warm chuckle. "Well, you catch more fish with bees than honey. Pick us out a good one." Luca closed his eyes and plucked out a bee. He could feel its wings struggle between his finger and thumb. Holding it at arm's length, he hurried over. His father deftly baited the hook and examined his work. "Interesting choice." With a practiced flick of the wrist, the line buzzed in a graceful arc. The water accepted it without a splash or ripple. The wrong choice. But I respect it. The pond began to freeze over. Sometimes we gotta make the wrong choice before we can make it right. Pallid ice propagated across the still surface with an alarming speed. Luca scrambled back as the ground beneath him turned cold. Dad, I don't understand. Sorry, kiddo. Understanding isn't always part of the deal. The relentless ice shot through the fishing line toward his father. Dad, look out! His father casually wound the reel.
A terrible dream.
None of it's your fault, you know. Never was. Dad, we have to go. Luca grabbed his father's shoulders, trying to pull him away. Please, you have to run. The ice crackled as it spread across his father's hands. That's the thing about fishing, Luca. His chest began to crystallize. You toss your hook in, and you never know what you're gonna pull out. A shock of searing cold ran up Luca's arms. He gave one last desperate tug. The chair tipped backwards in a single frozen mass. Luca tried to stop the momentum, but it was too late. He watched the icy form of his father slam into the hard ground, shattering into 1,000 pieces that crowded around his feet. Dad, I don't understand. What does all this mean? The gentle rustle of leaves was the only reply.
Can I walkie-talkie again?
Luca's eyes struggled to focus on the walkie-talkie. Faintly, he could hear Rollo amongst the noise.
Down where?
Rollo's voice was coming through more clearly now, but some words were still just static. The signal went
Can't
silent.
trust Kerr? Oh, he does seem a little sketchy. What's the hair?
Luca held still, waiting for a response, his pounding heartbeat marking the passage of time. Rollo's voice began to fade. With
The
that,
tree
the
house?
signal died for good. Luca grabbed the walkie-talkie and sprinted to the treehouse.
Is the tree house? I don't remember. Not that one.
Luca heard a group of footsteps approaching. He dashed behind the bushes to avoid being spotted.
I mean, this is the middle of the night. Oh, it's grand.
Mr. Tolliver paused, shifting his eyes to one side.
Danger.
Mr. Tolliver took one long, quiet breath.
What are we doing? Spark plug?
The three shared a determined look.
Whoa. Fucking love Dawn. Oh, this a lifetime. I didn't really pay attention to the camera is a bad spot. Let's just like chop off the top. I want to cover them all up. That.
The two boys shared a mischievous grin.
What sign did we change? For the harvest one? What's this festival? The treehouse is up there. Forgot that this path exists. This doesn't seem any better. Oh no.
Luca could only see a cloaked shape behind the rocket. He strained to hear as a muffled voice began. Fear gripped Luca's throat.
Wait. Is it
Stared
Iggy?
at the ground for a moment, trying to place the dampen. The figure shifted slowly from behind the rocket, revealing itself. Luca reached over empathetically.
I need to
His
go
tone
back.
jolted to dejected anger. Luca slumped to the ground.
It did say I should probably go back.
overwhelmed by-
Okay, Iggy, little bitch. Alright, I need to go back for Iggy, I guess. Oh. Clipboards? Can I go back? Am I stuck? What? Is there a million of them? Why is there so many clipboards?
Iggy slumped to his knees.
Ah, J-Mac.
Luca grabbed the walkie-talkie and headed for the window.
Oh, the lead.
Luca
What are we
and Iggy
doing?
climbed up the back of the treehouse to its roof, where Rollo had constructed his
I think I just
MCDC,
need to go back,
the
but I don't know if
Mission
it's
Control
gonna
Defense
save
Cannon.
anything else.
From behind the crowd of clipboards, William Kerr strode forward, a warm smile on his face.
No? No sense? God. Bye. Bye. Wait. Did it work? No, you don't get Iggy. Yeah, you can tell by his hair. It was bad news from the beginning.
Kerr's smile faltered. Luca's grip tightened on the MCDC.
Uh-oh. Oh, this is gonna be bad for me.
Luca's mind
We're gonna have to
raced.
back
He was
way up.
caught in a trap. What do you do when there's no hope? Iggy wiped his cheeks with a sleeve. What are you gonna do, Luca?
The only option they had left. Oh, that's my only option.
Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left.
Glad they didn't have me choose anything, because I probably would have chose fight. And I feel like that's gonna end
He
poorly.
swung the mission control defense cannon around, aiming it confidently at the smirking face of William Kerr. Luca summoned his most insolent demeanor.
That's the cannon?
Kerr turned his back on the two boys. With a nonchalant wave of the hand, he made his exit.
What?
As the clipboards began to slowly advance on the treehouse,
Are we dead?
Luca looked to Iggy with resignation in his eyes. The end. That escalated quickly. Maybe discretion was the better part of valor here.
I didn't have anything to do
Let's
except
put a pin in this
fight.
for now.
I only had fighting. I don't know what this is. Oh, shit. Oops. Sorry. That's not what I meant. Okay.
In the past, he found the best way to deal with
I didn't mean to go
enraged
back this
Roxy
far.
was to be a little shit.
Okay, well, we're gonna kick her again, I guess. Alright, that's not the one that I... So we're gonna tickle instead of
Well?
strange.
Time to bust out the tickles. Beck lunged forward and began to tickle under Tish's arms. Tears began to form in Tish's eyes as she
Oh.
gasped for breath between gales of laughter.
I hate being tickled.
Beck redoubled her efforts until Tish finally had had an.
I will fight for my life if I'm being tickled.
darted around, a realization dawning on his face that he was now outnumbered. Iggy kicked at the puddle before making his escape.
Well, no, Beck has it. This isn't better.
Beck shook the ooze out of her hair as best as she could.
This is 100 times worse.
Chapter 4.
Why would we want Beck?
The best policy. Luca paused for a moment, catching his breath. He'd only just met Beck, and somehow he already managed to drag her into this. Hopefully he could make it up to her. But finding Rollo was his primary concern.
I don't think having Beck is a better choice for me.
Roxy and Fitz looked drained. It was clear they'd spent all day searching. Roxy's temper could often be dismissed as the impatience of an older sibling. But this was the most intense Luca had ever seen her. Her eyes were wild and unfocused, looking straight through Luca. In a torrent of rambled words and tears, Luca broke down.
Oh, so we're gonna tell Roxy? Is this why it's gonna... But, like, if anything happens to Beck, I'm gonna be upset. Like, I'd rather it happen to... What was there? Iggy. Iggy. But when we did that, we all died. Dad?
Roxy, still exhausted and angry, softened briefly as her eyes hunted the ground in thought. With a determined sigh, she looked up at Luca. Roxy drew herself up. Roxy tried to think of the safest place to send Luca.
This is where we died. Was in the treehouse.
Luca wiped his cheeks and gave a quick nod. Looking into the puddle, Roxy rubbed her arms to warm up.
Don't touch it. I had a weird phone call.
Mr. Nuncree jumped with a start.
Oh.
Luca motioned to the phone booth.
Phone booth? kit? The back of the couch? I think. Found a new nest.
Mr. Nuncreed gently placed one of his substantial hands on Luca's shoulder. Luca peered up at Mr. Nuncreed.
You gonna tell him?
Kind eyes warmed a stern face. There was a deeper emotion hiding beneath it all. It was subtle, but Luca could sense something eating away at him.
Was a shame?
There was a shame lurking behind those eyes. A deep sadness. If Mr. Nuncreed was that worried about Rollo, maybe he could help. Mr. Nuncreed raised an eyebrow.
I mean, what's gonna happen? We're just gonna die again? If I get it wrong. A body, maybe? Oh, there was a hand.
Mr. Nuncreed's shoulders slumped. A deep sigh bellowed from his
So he's
chest.
gonna kill me.
Luca attempted to take a step back, but Nuncreed's hand
I literally
closed
only
down
had
on his
one
shoulder.
option.
With a firm shove, Nuncreed manhandled Luca into the phone booth. The door latched shut with a mechanical hit.
Am I ever not gonna die?
As Luca pounded the glass, the floor dropped from under his feet.
Oh?
The inside of the phone booth was now a loose capsule plummeting at gravity's whim.
I mean, it is from the company that seems sketchy.
Luca winced and pressed his hands to the walls. As he braced for impact, the capsule hurried to a surprisingly smooth stop. He felt a cold rush of air and opened his eyes with hesitation. Two large figures in hazmat suits occluded his view. Luca heard the deep, resigned voice of Mr. Nuncreed over an intercom. He knows too much. The end. Wait. No. This isn't the end. I know there's still much more. Somehow this went wrong. Okay, let's try something else.
No, literally, you made me do this. Oh. I don't have anything else.
There was a shame, a deep if Mr. Nun...
Just back out. Okay, I don't... The only thing that's different.
Well, time to bust out the tickles.
I select that. Like, this is my only option. That's
This is a story about struggle. Luca could hear a machine humming somewhere nearby. He felt around wildly, searching for something, anything that could help. His hands found a hard object, maybe a tile? He yanked it free, lifting the cold stone. Let me go! Luca swung the tile as hard as he could at the shape that still held fast to his leg. He heard the crack of glass as the stone hit the assailant's mask. With a muffled yelp, the hand let go. Luca was free and scrambled to the door.
So this is back without having Rollo with us.
He never looked back once on the long run home. Chapter 3.
Back to chapter 3.
Everything's fine. The next morning, it was quieter than usual at the breakfast table. Only the sound of silverware and chewing interrupted the awkward silence.
Okay. Well, now we don't like him. Alright, so we're back to chapter 3. Damn. Okay, so maybe we're okay? Loves this alien. Mission control. To go to the diner and the wagon. Diner was.
She leaned forward and pinched Luca's cheek.
Alright. Got another charm now.
Luca shifted the basket uncomfortably. Mrs. Fratelli lifted the cloth and inspected the jam. She carefully lifted out her jars of jam.
Alright. One delivery down.
Luca squinted at the faded photo of him and his mom at the diner. Memories of that day came flooding back.
Huh? Oh. I really gotta cook. This bunny was. It's pregnant in our life.
Luca glanced at the empty seat across from Gus.
Busy. A pile of sloppy chili. That's chili. Hot and cold. Is this?
Jeff slapped the table and gave Luca a toothy grin.
Candy and a burger? No. Sweet and stabby. Memory now. Talk to him. Try to take my jam. Is he a bad guy? Her is. He's so nice. Favorite little Dawn is doing. We haven't met Beck yet in this time. No. Oh wait, there's supposed to be a map, isn't there?
Mr. Nuncreed eyed Luca for a moment,
No.
then nodded in agreement. Luca handed the gem to Mr. Nuncreed, and he nestled it with both hands.
Creep. Up the back. Because she's reading. Oh, she's. It is what the early bird does. Go on there. If I was a Mr. Oliver, what would I do? I don't know where I'm going. Is this Mr. Tolliver that I keep walking around? Oh.
Heiress Valentine, oldest of Sharper Valentine's children, and heir to the Valentine fortune, had a way of making questions seem like demand. Mr. Wilder had learned to assume that if he was hearing from Eris, it was because she had taken issue with something he had put in the paper.
I want them to care about the festival.
Mr. Wilder averted his gaze and began to polish his mop.
Where else can I go? It said like one of those stores.
Luca checked the soles of his sandals.
Very much loves bugs. I can go to all of these places, but I can't go over there. Dilly dallying, because I don't know where Mr. Oliver is. That was my house. Not the beacon. Not the newsstand. Not the diner. Wait, is it this way? I haven't even been to this part of town. I didn't realize there was another path this way. This is...
Huddled at his counter, Hiram Tolliver was meticulously shining apples. More accurately, Hiram Tolliver was meticulously shining one apple. With a yelp, Mr. Tolliver fumbled the apple, flailing at the air as it fell. He leaned forward and lowered his voice. He leaned in a bit further. Mr. Tolliver leaned back, speaking loud enough for anyone to hear. He reached forward and snapped up the jars of jam, giving Luca a little wink. He leaned in for a final whisper.
Terrible spot. Where's Beck? I don't want to. I want to see if there's any charms hidden over here.
Beck locked eyes with Luca. The look on her face was equal parts expectant and desperate. Beck gave Luca a quick nudge.
Hey. Friend has been friended. Okay, we're going to dinner. More toxic ooze. Kitty little Beck. Can I not know that this place. Hey, Bert. Go in here. Street.
We all know Beacon Pines is a great town. What you may not know is great towns grow from mighty roots. And that is why you cannot tell the story of Beacon Pines without telling the story of one shopper Valentine. Young Sharper's keen intellect and strong moral fiber led to a grand vision. A vision of a community dedicated to a better tomorrow. In his own words, a better tomorrow is within our grasp, but it requires a singular mind to harness it. Lucky for us, he decided to grow that vision here in Beacon Pines. And how does one grow a better tomorrow? With fertilizer, of course. Valentine's Fertilizer Company became the lifeblood of a town yearning for purpose. But then tragedy struck. A scientific experiment gone wrong. An accident which took Sharper away from us far too soon. To this day, we struggle to pick up the pieces. But one foul harvest isn't enough to stop the people of Beacon Pines. The spirit of Sharper Valentine lives on. It lives in the hearts of everyone with a dream for a better tomorrow. Together, we will follow his example and grow a bountiful future. Paid for by the Valentine family and the Valentine Fertilizer Company Remembrance Fund.
Oh. Oh, I do not like his voice. Oh no. Oh, I don't like that.
Jeff dug through his pockets for a bit.
Both garbage. Different. A bunch of shady stuff. Going for dinner. Hey, we tried to come to this cottage before. body every time I sit on my computer.
Beck took a long breath, then gave a firm nod. Chapter 4. Dinner with the Moodwills.
Okay, so different chapter 4.
Ilona Moodwill was worried about change. A gardener at heart, she understood the necessity of change, relied on it even. But there was a difference between the controlled world of her plants and this cluttered cottage in a strange town. Almost done. Nellie was a blur of activity, digging through boxes. Sorry, love, couldn't find the dishes. We'll have to make do with paper plates. Dinner went by without much conversation. As she watched Beck and Luca finish up their pizza, Ilona let herself relax into the chair. The things she cared about were still here. Nellie finally had the job of her dreams. Beck was beginning to take root. Ilona's task was simply to tend to them. She could do that.
Ilona. Ellie is that one.
Luca's eyes were fixed to his plate, pushing a chunk of pineapple around with his finger. Nellie was the one who eventually broke the silence.
Oh, we're sad.
Ilona nervously gestured toward the boxes. Luca wiped his face with his sleeve. Beck gave Luca a swift kick under the table.
Deep engineering. That's the name tag. Guess they had an opening.
Luca glanced over to Beck. She seemed to be holding her breath. Beck slammed her fist into the table.
Uh-oh.
Perhaps
Sore
harder than
spot.
she intended.
I just realized that I haven't been recording this whole game. Nice. Good old playthrough.
Luca glanced outside to gauge the time. The sky was darker than he expected, filled with
kitty.
ominous clouds. Luca wiped his mouth one last time with his napkin and started to get up.
Good thing he disliked pineapple. You're unlucky. Oh, heck.
Surprised, Luca turned around. He knew Rollo could be prickly around new people. But Beck seemed cool. Rollo would warm up to her eventually, probably.
Oh, so to decide if we're taking her with or not. The clouds began to rumble.
Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the Luca surveyed the roiling clouds. At that moment, the heavens opened up.
So should I
and
say
they
there was a
seemed to
break in the
drench
clouds
rain.
and then she could come with us? I like that. Now we're stuck. Hi, kitty. A nice room.
Luca squinted into the eye hole of the microscope. Luca adjusted the slide with his fingers to get a better look.
Okay.
Luca wiped his hand off on his sweater and gave a nervous laugh. Beck looked down, timidly tapping the ladder with her feet.
All right, so she is the better radio.
Luca flicked at one of the toggles. Luca bent down to examine the bouquet of wilting flowers. Judging by the odor, they were well past their prime. He flipped open the attached card.
No. All right, Beck. You mean?
Beck took a moment to watch the rivulets of water running down the window. Luca took a deep breath, exhaling slowly. Luca let out a feral scream that echoed into the night. Her voice dropped to a trembling whisper.
They're bonding.
Beck brushed off her shirt and straightened up. As abruptly as it began, the storm abated. Beck gave Luca a light thump on the arm before heading in. Chapter 5.
Okay.
Friendly Feud.
So far, so good.
The air was heavy with a hard rain's residue.
Friendly feud.
The smell of wet things. Despite his dreary surroundings, Luca felt at peace. He'd never shared those details about his dad with anyone. Not even Rollo. But it's not like this changed anything. Rollo was still his best friend. Adding Beck to the group would help balance things out. Everything's better in threes. This is what Luca told himself as he headed to the treehouse.
Are they gonna get mad at me? Oh, what's Dad doing? Oh? Oh, so that's why we have a solemn? Solemn? I love Dawn. Agreed. Go reading by the fountain. Beepers. Both bad news. Here anymore? Huh?
Luca had only ever heard him speak in this stiff yet gentle tone a few times, and it always meant one thing. Rollo scoffed. Luca stumbled on his words, knowing he'd said too much.
What the heck is a Beck? Oh, Rollo.
Luca became instinctively angry in response. Both boys were now shouting across the distance. Rollo's tone changed to a calm, yet more intense anger.
Oh.
The words hung in the cold night air. Rollo's stomach dropped, knowing but it was too late.
I mean, we could have done the other option, but like, and Beck bonded and now they're friends. I have to go back and fix crap.
Luca dug through his old stuff, not even sure what he was looking for.
Soccer ball? Kick it. Yeah. Yeah. Having fun just taking this. Poor Gran, all over her bed. Okay. Wee. Fine bed. I get it,
Gran
Luca.
cooed gently from the hallway.
Sleeping.
Luca just wanted to be alone. He waited to hear the sound of the front door closing.
Kick it again. Oh, is it festival? Oh, we're just gonna ignore the festival? Together? Getting back into bed?
Luca dozed off again.
Oh? We're wallowing. Noted, Gran.
Luca still couldn't bring himself to go out. Besides, if he ran into Rollo, he'd have to actually confront the situation.
Trying really hard.
Adventures of Hank Atomic.
That's what Rollo likes.
Luca carefully opened the cover and began to read. Rollo had received it for his birthday, a special hardcover edition with behind-the-scenes commentary and bonus art. Rollo cherished it, but asked that Luca keep it at his house.
I was trying hard.
Luca wasn't sure if it was because Rollo didn't trust himself with it, didn't trust his sister around it, or just wanted an excuse to come hang out at Luca's more often. Whatever the reason, Luca didn't mind.
Are you guys winning?
But it had stayed right there where Rollo had stashed it ever since. Now, at the foot of his bed, Luca lost himself in the pages. He'd read it all before, but at this moment, it somehow felt sentimental. He was well into issue number 5 when he heard soft footsteps from the hallway.
Heck? It's also Gran's room.
Without realizing it, Luca had pouted away the entire afternoon. He once again felt the weight of it all and allowed his weary eyes to close.
I have a feeling this was the wrong choice. I'm gonna go back.
Luca stood in a vast black expanse.
But some days we just need a wallow all
He
day.
looked up at his father standing beside him. Walt was working a straw at the bottom of a fountain glass, trying to collect the last bits of milkshake. Dad, where are we? Taking a final loud gurgling sip. His father peered up from the glass. He jangled the straw playfully with a warm smile, then lifted the empty glass as if to point into the darkness. The source. Luca's eyes followed his father's gesture. In an instant, he was sitting in front of a blazing campfire.
Why is she so alert all of a sudden?
Across from him sat a large figure in a yellow hazmat suit.
Happening in my house.
The figure's voice was a scratchy echo. Well, if it isn't the man of the hour, make yourself comfortable. Luca held his shivering hands over the flame to warm himself. It doesn't work that way here. Their yellow-gloved hand pointed to the base of the flame. It's a cold flame, see? Luca peered at the base of the fire. It wasn't wood that was burning. It was Beacon Pines itself. Tiny buildings, freezing and crumbling as they were consumed by flame. Luca could see small shadows moving in the burning city. People. Luca leapt to his feet. We've got to help them! The figure gave a dismissive wave of their hand. Why waste energy helping people who can't even help themselves? The figure bent down to examine the panicked crowd as they desperately tried to stop the flames. They only care about what's right in front of them. Not like us. Luca's voice was a trembling whisper. Us? The figure slowly stood up, grabbing its helmet with both hands. With a jolt and a twist, the suit emitted a gasp. A cloud of torpid mist escaped, slowly revealing the face within. Luca's own face looked back at him. Older, worn. The sensation was oddly familiar, as if he'd caught his own reflection by surprise in the mirror. The doppelganger smiled. I tried to help once. He gestured towards his face. And all it got me was this. Luca staggered back. You are... Luca felt a hand catch his shoulder. His father was there again, beside him. Every choice sets us on a path.
Bad?
This is the end of one of... Luca watched his older self shake its head ruefully, its face twisting into a cruel grin. Welp, Dad. If you wanted him to see this, far be it from me to disappoint. Luca watched in shock as the figure took a confident step forward and plunged into the flames in a flash of cold light. He was gone. What does all of this mean? Luca felt a reassuring squeeze on his shoulder. Just remember, why we choose matters just as much as what we choose. Luca woke up to see a hazy figure at the foot of his bed, silhouetted in the morning sun. Luca rubbed his eyes. The kind, concerned face of his gran came into focus. Gran silenced Luca with a gentle pat on the leg.
In. Got out of bed.
Luca gave a reluctant nod. Luca took a deep breath.
Okay.
Chapter 6. Through thick and thin, Despite Luca's bitterness, Gran was right. He needed to hash things out with Rollo. A big fight changes the nature of a friendship.
Hi, Kitty Pie.
Whether, in the end, it is for the better or for the worse, all comes down to understanding.
It's the kid.
If one is not careful, the same familiarity that builds the strongest of bonds can become the wrecking ball that shatters them. Luca emerged from seclusion, taking in the crisp festival air, but the events of the day weren't on his mind. He had to find Rollo.
Butthole on camp.
Roxy rolled her eyes, shaking her head. Luca looked down and kicked at the dirt.
Ace Avenger. Sorry that all you guys are. About anything. Mind Rolo.
Kato's eyes lit with excitement.
Another clue? Not to show you her butt, but
Kato straightened up and cleared his
Your
throat
face
as if
is
preparing
dead.
to sing. Kato stared at Luca eagerly.
no. Is it a book?
Luca grabbed the 5 pillars of success from the Luca grabbed the issue with self-help. Luca grabbed 500 Luca grabbed The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue number 5, from the shelf.
It's probably that one.
Kato removed his book from the desk and replaced it with Luca's, turning on the lamp. As he slid the book under the purple light, 2 words glowed.
That is sitting on my right arm.
The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue 5. Luca clicked his tongue with recognition. Kato began flipping through the pages, stopping when he hit a glowing word.
It was such a
He continued flipping.
Grifton grub? Or Grifton grub
Reaching
part.
the end of the book, Kato looked up.
Next day, ice cream. Hey, J Mac. Hey. Next day.
Before Luca could finish his sentence, Griffin handed him a corn dog. Luca shrugged, taking a sizable bite out of the corn dog.
Uh-oh.
Luca tongued at his cheeks, feeling something rough between
Let's say, is there
teeth.
paper in there?
Say what?
Gift sub Daryl to J Mac.
He reached into his mouth and pulled out a slip of paper.
For your emotes again, J Mac.
He shook off the bits of corn dog to read the slip. Luca finished off the remainder of the corn dog.
Pick up when you need some pep. That one. Bird. Oh, is it not here? Yeah, do it, do it, do it.
Lumi waved his hands
Working at the
around
post office? What are you
sarcastically as he
doing at the post
began.
office? What do you think? For 30 hours is good. Don't really like that I gotta. Oh, that's nice because I can go to other places to get more hours. Do you like it? What takes flight but has no wings? Your final task of friendship. Has no ring. Is he in the treehouse? Because don't we have like a rocket in the tree? Takes flight and not this. What takes flight but has no wing? Flight. Final task of friendship ring. No, I've been doing good at the rest of these. I'm kind of stumped. I really thought it was going to be the rocket. Better than? There is. What takes flight? really have no idea. PH. But not just perennial. Where is Rollo?
The road leading to Beacon was sort of not. For a town that saw few visitors, the
Not here. Where the frick is he? What takes flight but has no wings? What in this game takes flight with no wings? What takes flight with no wings? Where do I find?
Jeff was staring into the distance with a wistful look. Jeff turned to Luca with a furrowed brow, then gave an understanding nod. For a moment, the two now shared that same wistful gaze.
Lost. He's been there the whole time? I thought it was balloons, but I...
Rollo sheepishly handed Luca the balloons.
Better view.
Luca threw himself at Rollo, hugging him as tightly as he could.
Oh gosh. Honestly, this is fine. I don't want to sneak in there. Probably end up just dying again. I would learn. I believe. Oh,
Rollo handed Luca an unopened letter. Luca,
letter from.
some things are going to happen that might be difficult for you to understand. If I am honest, I hardly understand them myself. But whatever happens, I need you to know that I love you.
From his mom?
None of this is fair to you. You have already lost so much. We both have. I wish there was a simpler way forward. But if there is, I haven't thought of it. God knows I've tried. Everything I've done, I did for you. I hope someday you can accept that. Love, Gran.
Oh.
Luca folded the paper into his pocket and headed up the ladder. Luca was at a loss for words. But that was fine. Words aren't always necessary. Sadly, this was untrue. A distant rumble shook the treehouse. It was not fireworks. It was something the boys couldn't possibly comprehend. Something as old and cruel as time itself.
You can't do that. We just frozen?
A shockwave of cold tore through the room. A bitter, unfathomable chill. Before they could react, it encased them in ice. Two boys, reunited by friendship, only to be cruelly
what the
separated
fuck?
by a malevolence beyond reason. And so, our story ends on this melancholy
They
scene.
were made up and they were
In a
friends.
silent treehouse turned statuary, in a town brought low by its secrets, sits a pair of friends, alone, together, for the rest of time. The end. No, that can't be the ending. It simply can't. I won't accept it. And there are more endings, more possibilities. I can feel it. We are just going to have to sort through them all until we find the one that fits.
That was rude. So we have running there. Or we can go back to the Bex thing and so we wouldn't fight with Rollo at all. Why don't we try that first?
Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to break, revealing patches of star-filled summer night. Moonlight filtered down, shimmering in the
So it's not even
treetops.
like I'm choosing wrong options. It's just like I don't have other options. This time I did. Like some of them I just don't have the other option.
Luca stopped himself mid-sentence.
But yeah, because it was about being kidnapped.
Luca saw Beck
Not being
skulking
kidnapped,
by
but
the
being
gate.
grabbed.
Beck grabbed the wrought iron bars and shook the gate.
Oh. hazmat suit. They're all corrupt.
Beck's voice was an excited whisper.
Who's in there?
The mysterious figure retracted their mask, hair pushing out from all corners.
It's Gran. What the frick?
A chill ran down Luca's spine. His vision blurred. Beck stifled a sharp wince, and Luca looked down to see himself wrenching her. Gran tousled
What
her
the
hair back
heckies?
under the face mask. Gran gave Eris a curt nod and disappeared.
What the heck? Now
Chapter
do we have to
5.
choose between going to Rolo or
What
following
big
this?
ears you have. Lucas sat shivering in the bushes, staring at his feet. After checking to make sure the coast was clear, Beck gave him a gentle tug on his sweater.
I mean, it kind of goes with her letter, but like we don't know about the letter in this. How many do we have? We have 1, 2, 3. Okay, well we have 7, and there's supposed to be 11. So this means probably not finished.
The clipboard finished writing with a scratchy flourish and looked up. Mr. Nuncreed, arms crossed over his paunch, gave an exhausted sigh. He snatched the pad and scribbled his name so hard the pen nearly snapped. The clipboards looked at each other for a moment, almost pondering the possibility, then broke into laughter as they walked away.
Where are we going? Why don't we just go do it over there? Don't know how to grow plants anymore? Interesting. I'm gonna play like a little bit longer, but
Rollo waggled his head with pride.
uh-oh. It's gotta be the cozy kitty. Berry biscuit. Lavish. You can see your ears. Where am I throwing this junk at? Oh, the target. Oh, I've been trying to pick it up that whole time. Not see the kitty ears? Axe for junk.
Luca sucked in a long breath.
The grand?
Rollo let out a low whistle. Rollo and Luca shot back a look.
Aliens or alien zombies? That is always Rollo's answer. Extra. Get comfy for a nap.
Luca gazed out the window.
Her grand is grand. I don't think she's up to anything nefarious. I think Grant's on the good side.
Chapter 6. Secret Lair. Summer forged ahead, but the nights only seemed to grow colder. Luca walked home slowly under the pale starlight, cautious to avoid any more surprises lurking in the shadows. Reaching home, he slipped quietly into bed, half dreading what they might discover the next day.
I'm coming. Oh, Brew. A nice hat. Oh, you got a whole kitty face.
Luca and Beck rolled their eyes as Rollo strutted across the room. Rollo flung open the cabinet with confidence. He coughed as a veil of dust hit his face.
The closet. Maybe she hucked it in a bush.
A look of realization crept onto Luca's face. All three kids snapped to glance at each other, then sprinted in turn toward the kitchen. Before he could finish, Luca scrambled up Rollo's back. The three crowded around the hutch to peer in. With the glass doors opened, a perfect porcelain display gleamed in front of them. Their eyes searched for anything amiss, but the only distinct feature was its impeccability.
Do we not think it's in the locked closet?
As Beck pulled on one of the teacups,
Oh?
it slanted forward with a hollow click. The entire hutch began to rustle and slide under its own power.
I don't think he would. This is the house he's lived in.
Luca jostled each cabinet drawer in turn. Only one was unlocked. He fingered through the filing cabinet, pausing at a bulging folder labeled Walter. For a long moment, he just stared at it. Luca nodded and caressed the label with his thumb. folder from the drawer and began leafing through the pages. He whistled to himself, barely looking at the text.
Detective work, Beck.
He stopped at a page and mimed, holding up a monocle. Rollo looked up with heightened surprise. Rollo's finger traced across the page. Rollo scanned through several more pages. Luca, staring blankly at the cabinet this whole time, spoke softly. Rollo rustled the folder, trying to loose more pages. Luca frantically shoved the remaining cabinet folders, trying to find another labeled Walter. Luca slammed the drawer shut.
Getting sleepy. We're gonna be calling this.
A spider web of string connected photos of people from the town, interspersed with hastily scrawled notes.
Yes, can I help you? Yeah, sure is. I've been ending stream at 7 every day this week because I've been tired. Mr. Kerr has a bullseye. I also have been getting less than 8 hours of sleep. Like, I would say this whole week, but it's only like past 4 or 5 days, whatever I've been working. The girl needs 8 hours of sleep.
Rollo casually spun open a lid and dipped his finger in the jam.
What if it is explosive? He's gonna blow
He
up.
smacked his lips. Rollo plunged his hand in the jar, fishing out a soggy slip of paper. Rollo offered the slimy note to Luca and licked his fingers clean.
Let me know when the Xbox is. Spark plug. I mean, we know about Operation Sparkplug. I don't know in this timeline if we know about it, though. 'Cause I don't remember what timeline that was in. That was from yesterday.
They crowded around a worn-down old map of Beacon Pines. Rollo carefully traced the path with his finger. He jabbed down at the end point.
A festival. Uh-oh.
Luca looked up from the map.
Grant's home.
Beck flicked off the light, and they became statues in the dark. Overhead, creaking floorboards bent under slow, deliberate steps. The kids looked up.
Are we dead
the hilt of
again?
their necks following each footfall.
Rubbing my cat, but I'm uncomfortable.
Then suddenly, it stopped. Without realizing, they'd been holding their breath. All three exhaled shakily and glanced at each other. A muffled male voice broke the
Oh,
silence.
that's not Gran.
A final few footsteps reached the entrance above them, and the voice now echoed down the stairs.
Oliver.
The three kids shuffled to the corners without a peep. As he began to descend the stairs, the man's voice punctuated every new step. Thump. 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 At the bottom step, the man paused, squinting to search the room for signs of life. Rollo shifted suddenly. Luca gave him an intense, chastising look and whispered through clenched teeth. It was too late. Rollo was already inching toward the stairway. He screeched as he charged toward the shadowy figure. With all his weight, Rollo tackled the man to the ground. From the dark corner, they saw something move.
Oh, staticky.
Luca scrambled to the hunched figure on the ground. Pressing his fingers to the man's neck, he sighed with relief. As Beck flicked back on the light, Luca and Rollo both gasped in stereo. Chapter 7.
Surely they're just trying to stop
The
crazy that's
Interrogation
happening.
of Hiram Tolliver.
You go to bed. I could not stop yawning.
Still unconscious, Mr. Tolliver slumped heavily in a shoddy old chair.
Get my hair out of my face or something.
His hands were bound with rope, his feet tied with some loose string. The kids huddled in a circle, discussing their plan. One thing was certain, they couldn't just let Mr. Tolliver go. They needed to know what he was doing in Luca's house. After some deliberation, it was decided.
Hard cop, chill cop, rich cop.
They'd run the classic good cop, hard cop interrogation. Rollo brandished a steely gaze. I've got this. Read about it 100 times. Rollo swaggered past the chair which propped up the slumping Hiram Tolliver. Without even looking at his captive, he began with a long, blustery drawl. Mr. Tolliver remained motionless. Rollo spun around to face him. He'd clearly expected to rouse Mr. Tolliver with his booming voice. Beck and Luca gave each other an unsure glance. Rollo slammed his fist on the table. He grabbed the table lamp and beamed it onto the unconscious face. Mr. Tolliver groaned and slowly lifted his head. He recoiled with a muddled, weary squint. The chair wobbled as he attempted to straighten up. Mr. Tolliver could only make out rough shapes through the glaring light. With a gruff tone, Rollo hoped to both conceal his voice and intimidate. The doubtful expression on Beck and Luca's faces
Sweating.
transformed into awe. Rollo, hitting his stride, was now channeling every detective trope his memory could recall. He slammed the table again. Mr. Tolliver's voice became desperate. He was nearly in tears.
Mr. Tolliver? Can't read the bottom of my screen.
Mr. Tolliver was in a daze, now
Fran?
more confused than ever. He shook his head, feeling more and more dizzy. His voice faded to a whisper. With that, Mr. Tolliver passed out cold.
Oh, poor guy.
Rollo swung around with a repentant
Where was the
grimace.
good cop? He's adorable, isn't he? Fair enough.
Chapter